Alrighty, y'all. So I told y'all I was going to rank the collab characters now that Mari is here, and that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be ranking the characters, including the SRs, now that Mari um, is out. Right? Obviously, yesterday I did the community reactions to what people thought was the best collab. I'm probably going to maybe do a tier list on ranking the collab events since I have participated in all four. We will see about that. And then right now I'm going to actually be ranking the characters. Now, my rankings for these characters, I want to make this a little disclaimer, especially since we recently had the Asuka drama, whatever that was. My rankings are probably going to be based on everybody, or not based on everybody else's, but it's going to be different from everybody else's, right? I think when it comes to a tier list, you're ranking based on what you consider the most. So if somebody, for example, is very good in PvP, but they're garbage in every single thing in the game, but only good in PvP, they're probably not going to rank high because they're good in PvP, because I don't value PvP that much. Now, if a character is very good in solo raid, but they're garbage in everything else, but just very good for solo raid, they probably won't be number one, but they will probably be higher up there because I value solar raid more, right? So it's literally just comes down to what you value more, and for me, I'm going to be doing it overall, right? There are definitely things I value more than other things in Nikke, but this is a general overall ranking. So we're gonna rank them from 1 all the way to 13th, and I do also have my Nikke here with my collab characters, so I can read the kits and stuff for you like that. Now I do think the top 3 characters are going to be these 3, right? These 3. I think these 3 are the characters who are going to take 1, 2, and 3, right? It's hard for me to say who is the best collab character between these 3 because I personally, again, I value support more than I do a regular DPS who can get overthrown. I think Ray or Mari, honestly. I don't want to say Asuka's the worst, but I think Ray, I personally have Ray over Asuka just because Ray is overall a great character. She's a great supporter. She's a great DPS, right? Maybe she's not hitting as hard as Asuka, but in a general sense, Ray is performing. Where I guess you do get more damage out of her when it comes to mobs, but if you're considering PvP, bosses with ads, story, just even solo bosses as well, she kind of takes that top spot for me because her damage is very good, plus her supporting mechanics, right? And then again, obviously Asuka hits very, very hard, but she is really only doing damage on her normal attacks and really good against bosses and stuff like that. Obviously in early story, stuff like that, she's going to be good because her damage buffs are just so high up there. And then when it comes to her, what's it called? When it comes to her damage buffs, it's so high up there that she's going to be very good in early story, but later story, her damage buffs are still high up there, but I feel like you're going to see more of a performance from her when she's attacking enemies that have core, and then also if she is type advantage, meaning the enemies are wind. So I could probably have Asuka 2, Mari at 3, but Mari is really freaking good. That's the one thing. Mari is actually quite the good character. I don't actually have her. I have tested her and I had to, unfortunately. I don't really like watching other people's videos to get a understanding of the character, which is crazy because I'm a YouTuber. But I'm saying it's crazy because I'm a YouTuber and people watch me to get understanding. But for me, this character is very good. I think damage dealt to shields is great. The pierce buff for just attacking an enemy with a core is great. I think just every other 5 seconds they get the attack buff and stuff. Like Mari herself actually hits quite hard as well for a burst 2 supporter. She hits pretty good. So it's kind of hard for me to say that Asuka is better than this character when I don't believe Asuka is better than her. Overall, I would say Asuka's damage makes it look like Asuka is just way better. But again, it's not that I don't value DPS in this game. It's just that I guess longevity wise, I would put Mari higher than Asuka. But okay, let's say in the moment. In the moment, I guess I could have it like this, or probably like this. I really do think Ray is better than Asuka personally. But this is probably how I would have it. I probably would have it like this. I do think Ray is better than Asuka personally. Overall, when you look at the entire scope of the game, PvP, because she has a 990% attack, final attack AoE, she's cooking in PvP. Same thing goes for any content that has mobs in it. That's a high percentage. Not to mention, remember, Ray is actually giving herself quite the buffs, right? She's giving herself attack buffs, attack damage buffs, and then she's just dealing damage overall, and then has strong as element damage a strong element. So I would have Ray 1, I would have Asuka 2, probably Mari 3, even though in reality this is what I would say it is overall. Overall, I would probably have it like this. In the moment, I would have it like this, right? And then we're gonna go from 4 to 8, which is, ooh, this is gonna be interesting. Alrighty, so when it comes down to 4 to 8, I think who I have is, it's kind of hard to say. It's okay. I'm gonna say these are the characters I would have in my 4 to 8. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 5 characters. I would probably say it's maybe like this, right? Not that exact order, but these are obviously the characters I would say are 4 to 8. I probably have A2 at 4. I'm not gonna lie. I think A2 is still one of the better collab characters. She was, I would say A2 was the best collab character before these three, right? So I would say she is obviously 4th place. You cannot deny her talents, right? She has her burst skill up permanently unless she falls below 40%, and that's giving her an attack buff permanently of 15%, charge speed buff of 35% permanently. She does have damage increased to parts when she's attacking with a full charge. She does deal damage as additional damage when attacking with a full charge. Charge damage increase and explosion radius increase when you're in the burst skill for 15 seconds. It's really hard for this character not to cook. She is genuinely, I would say, probably after Scarlet, the best auto, like just general auto clearer, like farmer, AoE mob farming. And then when it comes to bosses, because she has damage 2 parts, I do think this character is good. Not to mention her explosion radius is so high, her charge damage is so high that she's breaking parts in seconds. Like, it's just how it is. She's breaking parts in seconds. So I would definitely have A2 at 4 there. Honestly, in reality, I probably could have her higher than Mari, but overall, I think Mari supports are just so great to the game that A2 is sadly the biggest thing for A2 is that she loses HP, and then if she is getting targeted, she's losing HP faster. Like, let's say for example her HP is at 41% and use her burst skill, it drops to 40, then her burst skill no longer works, right? Her burst skill can be up the entire time if you can keep her over 40% the entire time, but if it does fall below 40, then you lose it until you get past 40 again, right? I would say honestly, I think I would put Amelia in 5th, just because like she's really good when it comes to just doing general damage. Like, realistically, I think Rem has a better kit overall. She's, you know, giving buffs to rocket launchers, crit rate to herself. She does good damage herself. She heals, right? She's strong. Honestly, maybe I could have her okay in an overall setting. In an overall setting, I would say Rem is higher than Amelia in an overall setting, just because, again, she is supporting very well. She is healing and she is doing great damage, right? She is only supporting rocket launchers in a sense when it comes to that, but again, rocket launchers are very good in this game, right? You have Scarlet, Black Shadow, A2, Amelia, Laplace. These are just some of them that we're talking about when it comes to the DPS that she is, in a sense, supporting. These are strong, powerful characters that she is indeed supporting. So I would probably have, where's my OBS? I would have Rem higher than Amelia. Amelia is really good. She's just more of like a slow character, if that makes sense. Like, she's very slow, but she does do great damage. Like, you use her burst skill, it's gonna take long for her to, not long, but it's gonna take a while for her to just let her burst skill go. But when she releases her burst skill, she's doing mad damage, and that's the same thing in PvP as well, especially with the meta of Noah where you become immune. Her having that is actually very good. So I would put Amelia slightly under Rem, just for that purpose right there. Overall, she is a good DPS, but I do think Rem just has much more value overall. I would then probably put 2B after her, just because the thing about 2B is she's really good, my problem with 2B is that I feel like I have to have her with masked. I feel like I have to have her with masked specifically. I know there's other characters you can use and you don't necessarily have to use masked, but if you do not have masked, this character is really not doing anything. Not to mention, the problem with 2B is that she takes so long to build up. Like, you literally have to be fighting in a long fight for 2B to be like, okay, that good, right? Because the whole point of her is that you want this to go off, right? But you only get this when you use her burst skill. So you have to use her burst skill 3 times to have fully stacked on her first skill. And then when you are fully stacked on her first skill, then you're going to start to see her pop off with her burst skill. You're going to see her start to pop off with her second skill. But again, her first skill is what has to be fully stacked, and because that's going to take so long to get up, I will put it right there at 7. And then in 8, I will probably have Makima. I do think Makima has use till this day. I think her taunt mechanic is good. Her indomitability is really freaking good. I will say that. Right, indomitability is really good. The taunt's really good, and it's after 100 and normal, 120 normal attacks, which is good. When it comes to her burst skill, I really don't think much of it, if you want me to be honest. She does gain the pierce effect, she does get HP potency. Sorry, I had to cough there. But she does get these things, but it's not really like her first skill. This is really good though. When attacked 20 times, all allies get a reload speed buff of 36% for 10 seconds and a defense buff. The defense buff isn't that crazy, but the reload speed percent buff, pretty good. Pretty good, I would say. So I do probably have Makima over Power. I think Power is just a character who's supposed to do DPS but doesn't do it, right? When you look at her first skill, well over what, that's 3,000% of damage if she is fully stacked on her Blood Fiend. But because she literally has no damage at all, like no attack, I guess you do when it comes to her first skill, 6% stacked 5 times, that's the 30% attack buff for herself, sure, but it's just, she's really only meant for bosses. She really is only meant for solo bosses, and then even still, it's like, I don't know if I would say she's all that good, right? Besides solo bosses, even in solo bosses, I wouldn't say she's that crazy of a character. She just doesn't do enough damage, so I would put her... Would I have her over some of these other characters? Like, I probably might, honestly, genuinely, I might have Rem, the SR. Yes, I might have Rem over, because if you guys don't know, Rem is really actually good. Like, I would say Rem is the best free to play. I have to go all the way back to the SRs, but I would say Rem is the best SR collab character, right? And that's only because, like, she gives herself, or gives all allies a shield. She is on a 40-second cooldown, but she does fix that with her first skill. She does lower attack, she does give herself quite some HP, and she's giving a shield based on final max HP. This is pretty good. This is pretty good for all allies, I would say, right? Lowering the attack is going to be helpful. She does give defense, which is, you know, it's okay, but the shield plus the 40% max HP buff is really good in my opinion, right? So I would say overall, if I was ranking this, I would probably have Rem over Power. I feel like Rem is doing more for you than Power. It doesn't matter if she is an SSR. If she's an SSR doing absolutely nothing, I'm not gonna have her over Rem, right? Or not, this is not Rem, this is Ram. This is Rem. This is Ram. Ram is the one that I feel like is doing a lot more than Power, right? After her, maybe we could talk about Pascal. I think Pascal is a really good SR character as well. If you want me to be honest, he doesn't really mess up on anything. I think what's cool about him is that he doesn't have like a actual charge for his rocket launcher, making him good in PvP. But yeah, like I was saying before I was brutally interrupted, Pascal is the character that is really good, because Pascal doesn't have any like charge up time for his rocket launcher. Really good for PvP. I don't think his skills are all that good, but in PvP, the generation, burst generation is good. His skills are just, I hate when they make burst 1s and 2s, especially the SR ones, 40-second cooldown characters. This is completely garbage to me if I have to wait 40 seconds. The HP potency is cool, because all I have to do is enter the burst stage 1, but it's like, what's the point of running this character if I have to bring another burst 1 with this character, right? I just genuinely do not understand. So I would have Pascal there. After that, I probably would have Himeno. Himeno's actually pretty good from what I remember. She's like a sniper buffer. Yeah, look at this. Charge damage, crit rate buff for one ally unit with the highest attack. That's pretty good. Especially she is a burst 2. That's pretty good. She does give all sniper rifles after the first 20 seconds. After the first 20 seconds, every other 10 seconds, she'll be giving them an attack buff and 2 ammo capacity by 2 rounds. Sniper rifle characters. Then she does lower defense on a full charge, which is you know, pretty useful. Her kit is actually pretty good. It's just I'm not putting her on the team to support basically one character, right? How many snipers are you putting on one team, right? I'm not gonna put a whole nother character on the team just to support one single character, and then that's it, right? And then Misato is probably the worst one, unfortunately. I just don't think Misato is that great of a character. All right, she's cool. She's probably the most hype one out of all 4 of the SRs, but this is pretty good. This is pretty good. The damage delta shred, pretty good. But I don't like how she's on a 40-second cooldown burst skill for a 5% HP heal. Right? I guess 25% because it's 1 every 5 seconds. Or 1 second for 5 seconds. 1 every 1 second for 5 seconds. This stuff is cool. The hit rate is whatever. This right here, like she's probably better than Himeno. She's probably better than Himeno. In reality, like I would probably put her on the team for that purpose, right? For like healing if I needed it as a newer player. If I had Pascal, Misato, Himeno, Ram, I'm probably putting Ram on. Then I'm probably putting Misato, then Pascal, then Himeno. So I guess I could do it like this. It does. I don't really know where it is with these two, but let's do it like this. Let's do it like this. This is what my Okay, hold on. This is. Oh my god. Well, I guess anyways, this is the end of the tier list, right? I already know people are going to come after me because obviously Pride Win already has influenced everyone that Asuka's triple S. So if I'm saying she's not all the number one out of all the collab characters, sure. This is my tier list. Maybe people won't agree. I just do think obviously Rei is going to have a lot more value than Asuka. I get Asuka's a good DPS, but Rei is as well. Plus she's doing more. I literally see Rei as like a hand-me-down version of Modernia, and I see Mari as a hand-me-down version of Crown. And then I guess I could honestly, I see hand-me-down version of Modernia, hand-me-down version of Scarlet, hand-me-down version of Crown. These are all hand-me-downs of Pilgrims. That's how I see them. And then I say she's a hand-me-down version of Black Shadow Scarlet, and then we go about our day. So you could switch these if you want. I just don't feel like I would have her over. If I'm considering everything and how I value a character, what they do overall more than just how much damage they can do. Rei does great damage, plus she does a lot more than Asuka. So I would always have her over Asuka personally. But you guys let me know what you think. If you agree, then you agree. If you don't, then you don't. It is a tier list at the end of the day. Remember, tier lists are just of everyone's opinion. You're not going to come to this video and expect to agree with every single one of these rankings here. But it is up to you guys if you agree or you don't agree. If you don't agree, just say you don't agree and why you don't agree. And switch it up if you want. And I'm going to see you guys in the next one. I'm out. Peace.